Hey YouTube, we're back in the garage. I'm fixing to do a back glass swap on my truck for a camping trip that I'm going on pretty soon. I went out to the junkyard and was able to find a sliding back glass for my truck. And these first gens, a lot of times one side or the other tends to be broken out when you find them in the junkyard for some reason. And I'm going to show you how to rebuild this back glass. This one here looks fine, but it has a plexiglass window in it, and the plexiglass is not going to work. So we're going to swap it out. I found another back glass across the yard in another truck that was, the windows were broken out on the opposite side. And so I was able to pull this glass out. And we're going to show you how to swap them out real quick. First step is to clean these. I've already kind of cleaned them up a little bit, and we're going to take this rubber off on the outside so we can get to this piece of plexiglass and get these little rubber strips in the window out. So the first thing you want to do is make sure the rubber is pliable. If it's not, you may have to cut it off, but I'm just going to do this by hand because this one's fairly pliable. Go. There we go. All right, looks like that piece is broken a little bit. Alright, we've got the side of the rubber off here. It's like somebody's got some kind of glue or something on here. I'll have to clean that off because that is not part of this. Alright, we've got the first part taken loose here. I'm going to lay the rubber kind of under it to protect the glass, so hopefully I don't break it. Now, the next step, well, on this one, just pops out, probably because they didn't have the edge pieces in there. But you want to reuse this. Mine's damaged a little bit, but I don't think it'll be too big a deal. Just pop it off like that. Now you've got your useless piece of plexiglass out. Alright. Here is the new glass, or new to me glass, and you want to make sure to save whenever you take them apart. They have these little rubber strips that go on the bottom and top edge of the glass. You want to make sure you save these, because if you don't save these, it's not going to fit in there properly. Looks like I might have, there we go, dropped one. Let's put these back on here. I believe these help seal the glass to keep water out. They do have drain holes in them, and so you want to make sure that you clean the bottoms out. Let's see if I can set that there so that you can see that there's drain holes in the bottom, and you want to make sure that these drain holes are clean, because in the bottom of your rubber there's also drain holes, and they need to be lined up with these, otherwise the water's not going to drain whenever you install the back glass. So we've got the rubber pieces. You can see them, they go to that. This goes to the inside. These go up here in the top and bottom. Alright, now on these aluminum frame windows, on the top right here, there's screws right there. You can see they're top and bottom. One right there, you can see the screw right there. Oops. And you can see the screw right there. These bottom ones most likely are not going to come out because they're almost always rusty. See, I'm going to take these out and then lift this frame up, and once that's out of the way enough, we can put the glass in. So first thing, you need a Phillips head screwdriver. Just back these screws out. They're kind of long screws, so you'll want to make sure you back them out a good ways, or just take it completely out. The only issue with taking them out is make sure what hole they go to, so that way you can put it right back. I'm only going to take one out. I'm just backing this one way off, so that way I can hopefully spread this apart enough to put the glass in. The next step is we're going to put the rubber back on here. You can glue this or however you want to. This is just how I'm doing it. There's probably a better way to do this than what I'm doing, but this is the way I've done it before, and it seems to work okay. Kind of center that there. Alright, we've got our screw out. We're going to set this edge in. Bottom edge first. Tuck it down in there. Then we're going to lift this top up, and it's going to try to fall apart on you. But once you get the track and stuff kind of in there, it goes back together. Let's look at the front. Alright. Then you gotta line all the rest of this stuff up here, so you can put the screw back in. There we go. Got that lined up. Put the screw in. Get it started. We'll go ahead and tighten this back screw back down since we didn't take that apart. And if these are rusty, you might can try putting some PB Blaster, WD-40 or something like that on them to try and get them loose, especially if you live in the Rust Belt, because there's a high chance that the screws aren't going to come out up there. But you're better off trying to do the top screws first, because the moisture usually runs downhill, so they may be in better shape. I don't think I have this all the way down in here. Yes. Okay. That's there. Alright. Hang on, I messed up here one spot. I don't have the rubber seal on the bottom quite where it needs to be. Just notice that. Pop that up. See if we can, well, pop this back out. This bottom seal needs to be in kind of one certain spot there. It doesn't want to act right. Oops, I popped the rest of it apart. Alright, let me put these seals back on correctly, because they like to fall off real easy, because I probably should glue them on there, but I don't want to, because I know I'm going to take this apart again at some point in the future. There we go. Alright, let's try this one more time. Stick the bottom in, get it pushed down, put the top in, reassemble it, and then drop your screwdriver on the floor. There we go. Make sure it's all butted together tight. Then you reinstall the screws here. And once you have the screws reinstalled, then we're going to put the rest of the end trim on. That acts as a bump stop for the sliding windows so they don't open too far. And I just hand tighten these just pretty snug. They don't need to be super tight. They just need to be snug. You don't want to strip them out or break the glass. So, alright. We've got this piece in. Let's see if I can. Looks like this piece got messed up a little bit. That's alright. And then this, I thought this was rubber, but it's actually kind of a hard plastic. But it goes over the edge here. Oops. Somebody really put silicone all over this. Or something. Alright. Gonna reinstall this. It just kind of slides onto the end here. Careful not to cut yourself. Why is this not wanting to go on? Looks like we got more glue residue down in there. Take my pocket knife and clean it out. This isn't a good knife that I'm using. This is just a old one I use for carrying with me when I'm working on stuff. Oh, I see. Pieces of broken glass in here. Yeah, that's something else I forgot about too. Since this was broken out and they had plexiglass in there, I don't know if you can see down inside this groove, but there's pieces of broken glass still in there. You got to get these pieces of broken glass out of there, otherwise they won't let the new glass seat fully. So let's see if we can pop that out of there. Let me get a screwdriver. Flat blade screwdriver probably work better, be safer. There we go. We've got the broken pieces of glass out, so that's good. Let's try and fit this back on here again. Yeah, it's fitting better this time. You just gotta kind of work it on there. It should go. Not suggest hammering on this like this, except for this is a rubber hammer that I use for more delicate stuff. Alright, now we've got all our glass in and that's all replaced. We just need to replace this latch here. with the new one. Take these little screws out. There's 4 of them. Loosening them up. Some of the new latches, when you buy them online, sometimes they come with screws. Sometimes they don't. This says a 2-pack. It was like, I don't remember, 10 bucks, 20 bucks, something like that. Not real high. But I don't know exactly how great a quality these will be. But hopefully they'll work for what we need to do. So we're gonna pop these screws the rest of the way out. Try not to lose them. And we're gonna stick this back on here and we're gonna loosely put the reinstall the screws so that we can align everything once it's completely put back together. There we go. Take that screw out. That screw out. I probably didn't have to replace this piece because the new one looks the same as the old one. But I'm going to anyway, so it's a match set, just in case the edge of it where it latches is different. Usually the original stuff, if you can find good original stuff, it's usually better quality than the stuff we get today. I couldn't find a good latch set up out in the junkyard, and I wasn't going to waste all day looking for one either when I knew that I could just buy some new ones, and they were relatively inexpensive. Just kind of hand tighten them, just do it with your fingers. They don't have to be super tight. You don't want to break anything. And push your windows together. And sometimes these are kind of a pain in the butt when you first get them. And there you go. Now we've got a new latch, new window glass. Now all you got to do is reinstall your rubber and you're ready to go. I can try to stick this rubber back on just for right now. Move all this stuff out of the way. Remember, when you're reinstalling your rubber, make sure it has the holes in the bottom of it for the drains, because otherwise your drains aren't going to drain and the water will come in the cab, and that's not good. It's pretty easy. Just reinstall the rubber over the outside here. Just kind of stretches it on. You can clean up the old rubber. I have actually used brake fluid, which I know it sounds odd, but brake fluid sometimes works if you get a bucket and soak the original rubber in it and then scrub it with like a little scrub brush or something. Make sure you're wearing gloves because brake fluid is not good for your hands. See if we can get this all the way back on here. Let's see, oh, I think I'm installing this backwards. Yep. Hang on. Helps if you're actually installing it the correct way. The latch always goes to the inside. I forgot this groove right here is what holds the rubber and the trim on. So I was actually putting it on wrong. Let's restart this real quick. It's not a big deal. There we go. That's why you always check those holes. Make sure they're lined up. If they aren't lined up, you're not doing it right. Alrighty. There we go. And some of these aftermarket, the rubber doesn't always line up correctly where you want it to. If it doesn't and the holes don't line up, you can cut the holes using like a scratch-all tool or a pick or something like that to make sure the holes line up and drain, because you definitely want it draining the water out. I believe they still make these back glasses. I think I've seen them online, but they're like $400 or $500 last time I checked. Whereas I've probably got $100 tied up in this one total, even with the new parts. But it just depends on where you find it at. I got a deal on this one because the glass was broken. And then I found the other glass. So, we can get it slacked over there. You can use plastic, they make plastic tools for, in fact, I have some somewhere here, although I don't know what I did with them, for getting this lip over. Should have started the bottom first. Top back off. Get the bottom back on first. There we go. Alright, we've got our groove to the back side of the glass. We got our new latch in. Now all you gotta do is clean all the fingerprints and stuff off and you'll be ready to install it. Thanks for watching the video. Subscribe, like. There'll be more videos on this truck and other vehicles I've got, project cars. So check us out. I am a little irregular in how I post my videos now because I have a regular job, so it kind of takes priority over this stuff. So like, subscribe, do all the things, and we'll see you next time.